Hey everyone, I'm so glad to see that you were here. You got the call to request a session, it's a metaphysical anatomy, but what I'm offering to you is called metapsychology coaching. And just to give you a little before your session, what to expect. The one thing that is imperative, you need to be somewhere where you feel safe, where it's quiet. You will be undisturbed, so no cell phones, no home phones, no computers, no children. Animals is different. Don't be at work, don't be driving. Somewhere where you can take care of you and only you, so that you feel safe to allow the vulnerability of this work to be present and not feel you need to guard and protect yourself. Know that we may say the session lasts 90 minutes, but depending on what rises up, it could be 2 hours, if need be more. So do your best to schedule as such. Of course, I will do my best to keep us on time, but the thing is, if you've ever had trauma therapy, if something is coming up, you don't cut someone off right in the state of extreme vulnerability because you want to re-traumatize someone, cut off their session, be like, all right, your hour's up. We'll see you next week. That I will not ever do to you. Okay? So the other thing is come hydrated, because bring water with you to your session. What we will go into when we start your session is, I know you've already completed your paperwork. You've identified for me beautifully things that are like heightened things going on, physical things, emotional things, and the level of severity. So I'm going to take those and then apply them to other questions I'm going to ask you about what emotions do you feel connected to. Let's say if you have some pain, or even though if you're coming for an emotional session, there's going to be something that triggered that emotion, and then there's going to be emotions underneath that. So we'll get into those. We'll identify those different things. We'll identify where is it going on in the body. Where do you feel this? And where you feel in the body, does it make you think of somebody, or does it make you think of some place or an object or a situation? That's another clue, another puzzle piece to the larger theme of what we're working with. So we'll identify all those. We'll go over what you are coming to the session with, that you are ready to have some assistance with. I invite you to come in a place of openness, open-mindedness, surrender. Be willing to allow. Yes, I know many might be a little uneasy, like, with anyone, especially if you just met me. If you have any uneasy feelings, because if you've never had this type of work, you don't know who I am, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation before and just kind of break that ice and help ease any thoughts or feelings that you might have of doing the work, answer any questions you might have, because I want you to feel comfortable. Because if you don't feel comfortable, then you're not going to truly allow yourself to open up and surrender to the work so that you can clear out what needs to be cleared out for you. Not for me, but for you. So during this body work, there'll be a meditation. Then we'll do what is called, it's similar to EMDR. Of course, my brain is going to, hold on. So it's a rapid eye reprocessing. It's similar to EMDR, where you're taking the eyes from one direction to the other for X amount of times. And then we also go diagonal, never up and down. with the premise of you're focused on whatever the trigger was that we identified in the accompanying emotions. So that's what you'll be focusing on while we're reprocessing. And then you will close your eyes and you'll get silent, and I'll be working on um, your healing happens in stages. So I go and I'm going to scan your body, and I'm going to be looking for areas that there is stored energy. Like there'll be things I will see in your field or in your body. Some of them can be something that's stagnant, that doesn't move. It can be like stored in different parts of the body. And then you have things that we will see on the outside of the body that move around. And you'll be like, yeah, sometimes I always, like my shoulder's always hurting. And it reminds me of my Uncle Jim, type thing. Um, and then we will have these pockets of areas. And so these will be things that in stages I will be addressing, because many of them, what will come up will be connected to whatever you just did processing with your eyes. Then we'll come and see what's risen up now. We'll do some more. Sometimes it takes 2 to 4 eye processing. And then we'll do what we call the butterfly reprocessing. So then you're going to be tapping. You can tap here, you can tap on your legs. And so the point of what the creator of this modality is, you're working with the brain, so the different hemispheres. So when you cross the body, you're crossing the hemispheres. So the eye processing is, depending on the direction, is working on different aspects and areas of the brain to help clear out those stored traumas and to reprocess them. Then when you're doing the somatic reprocessing, that's another stage. And you'll be focusing on your positive intention. And so there'll be this, we'll go back and forth, revisit till you feel that it's resolved. Like there's no electrical charge anymore to what you came to the session for. And there'll be some other things that we will finish up before your session ends. At any time, you're always welcome to speak up, even if, I've asked you to close your eyes and just relax, while I work on healing. If while I'm working on it, you're like, oh my God, I'm having intense pain or I can't breathe, talk to me, tell me, because I'm going to then go into whatever's coming up. Where is it? Is it bringing up an emotion? Is it bringing up thinking of somebody or a situation? And the more we dig, the more answers we're going to have. Then we take that and put it in and process again. And it's amazing what this work does, because I have experienced EMDR, and really that was a huge, huge, huge puzzle piece in my healing trauma in my life. And this work, I love now that she's added that to it, because it takes this on a whole new level and how it can help. So I just want to give a little information about, I know you've watched hopefully the other video that gave more information about what is this modality. So talking about a traumatic event, every detail of the event forms various information sheets such as smells, sounds, sights, sensations, and emotions. However, when your mind attempts to file these sheets away, it struggles. Some may find a place in files that closely match, like the sound of a zipper fitting into the clothing sound file. That's what I'm saying. You could hear someone zipping up their coat and be like, oh my God, taken back to something from childhood just from hearing that sound. Because whatever happened in your childhood, your brain connected the two, because when the traumatic event occurred for you, someone was zipping up a zipper, and that brain put 2 and 2 together and matched it. And then You heard that, it triggered it, and it took you right back. So, yet much of the information remains unplaceable, stored in a cannot file this anywhere folder. Now envision the folder placed in the center of your home's entry hall. Each time you enter or leave, you must navigate around it. I know that feeling. Life continues, but the obstacles remain. Additionally, occasionally, and when accessing an existing file, such as the clothing sound, that misfiled information sheets distracts you. The metaphysical anatomy technique sessions assist in symptomatically addressing each sheet in that folder, accurately, properly filing it away, and resolving any misfiled information associated with the original experience. So she goes on to describe that we're addressing the trauma by delving into the metaphysical dimensions of the body and its energetic imprints through what she calls MAT, metaphysical anatomy technique. Trauma is approached as not only a physical or psychological phenomena, but also an energetic disruption within the body's subtle systems. This technique operates on the premise that traumatic experiences leave energetic imprints or disruptions within the body's energetic field. These imprints can manifest as physical discomfort, emotional distress, or behavioral patterns that persist long after the traumatic event has occurred. This technique facilitates the release of trauma by systematically identifying and addressing these energetic imprints. By assessing the body's subtle energetic systems such as the chakras, meridians, and aura, the practitioner can pinpoint areas of energetic congestion or imbalance associated with the past traumas. Through a combination of guided visualization, energy healing technique, and somatic awareness, as well as the reprocessing, it helps the individuals gently release and integrate these energetic imprints. This process allows for the resolution of trauma at its root, leading to the profound healing on physical, emotional, and spiritual levels. By working with the metaphysical aspects of the body, MAT offers a holistic approach to trauma resolution that complements many traditional therapeutic modalities. By addressing the energetic imprints of trauma, it empowers individuals to release past wounds, reclaim their vitality, and move forward with greater resilience and wholeness. So the other thing I want to finish off with is, like I said, if we're wrapping up your session and you feel complete, like what you presented with the session with, if that no longer has that charge, then we'll wrap things up, integrate it, and close out your session. You will have 7 days access to me after a session that you can follow up with me at any time. If you have something such as WhatsApp or Telegram, I prefer those over Facebook Messenger rather than emailing. But if all you have is email, we will find a way to communicate. Tell me anything that's coming up, even if you think it's something minute, where all of a sudden you're smelling something that you have not smelled in years. Someone came into your life, you got a phone call from someone, you had an experience that reminded you of something. You're having pain, you're having good things, whatever it is, talk to me, because they all are connected. And if there is things coming up that are traumatic and uncomfortable, pain, new emotions, we can pop back in and do some reprocessing to help facilitate capturing that little, what I can sometimes call residue. And then also there's other layers that we didn't fully delve into, but it's like we crack the door. If that makes sense. So many times we have to go ahead and delve into what's down here so that this crack can seal and then any residue be taken care of that's still attached to what we cleared up here. trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you. Of course, afterwards, don't go into some heavily traumatic event. Don't go have an argument with a family member. Um, don't go do something that's going to really stress out the body, because you may feel really sleepy. You're going to feel kind of how I have felt. I feel almost like tipsy. I feel really like, yeah, I feel good. We all, practitioners, will swap sessions and we'll kind of look like we just had us a glass of wine. But you need that time to just decompress, allow that integration to happen. It's phenomenal if you can go sit outside in nature and slowly simmer down. Don't get on your phone or the computer. Just if you can take 15 minutes for yourself, more would be fantastic. 15 minutes after a session, just go take care of you. You're going to need water. You're going to have things that are going to get released in the body. Like for me personally, I will find sometimes I'll have muscle spasms or twitches because I've had a lot of trauma happen: physical, mental, emotional, sexual, and every form of trauma you could have. So my body, when it is unraveling, I will get muscle spasms because it's my fascia is releasing in one place of the body, it's pulling tighter on another, and I might find I have restrictions somewhere. Those are all very common things. You might find you have emotional outbursts, you start crying for whatever reason. Let it happen. It's good. Don't make it bad. Do your best not to make it something that's bad. Be there for yourself. Make notes of anything that comes up, because they're all going to help. Because when you are someone like myself who has had a lot of trauma in your life, one session, yes, will make a monumental dent, but you're going to need repeated sessions over periods of time to fully address something, and especially all the layers of it. But it has to be at your level of readiness to let these things go. And it's okay if you're not, because I know for a long time I wasn't. I was ready to a point, but not beyond that point, and then sometimes I could come in behind this, what I call spicy, and was able to come in from the back door to address things that were underneath the spiciness. Then once this was released, this lost the charge. Our bodies are amazing. The energy that they hold and the memories it keeps. It does what it's meant to do beautifully, but too many times life and our programming interferes with our body's own natural ability to heal itself. And so that's where we have to step in and help it, and it's okay. So if you have any further questions about your session before we meet, please reach out. No question is silly or stupid. I look forward to guiding you in any way possible before, and then as always, when we meet one-on-one, I will be excited to facilitate and be your guide for you as you work through activating your body's innate healing ability and giving it permission to let go. Until we meet for your session, take care of yourself. Remember, come hydrated, have water with you, be somewhere where you're completely undisturbed. Now, I understand if you've got kids, you may say, well, they're in another room. Just do your best. Because the last thing you want is someone knocking on the door or screaming at you when you're in the middle of reprocessing. We do not want any of that. Now, I'm going to make this final, and it will be in part of the email that I sent to you. Some certain risk factors of why someone can't have a session, those will be in the email. We'll say if you have epilepsy, seizure disorder, you take medicine for anxiety, you have an upcoming legal case where you're going to be a witness or you're going to be in for depositions, talk to me before your session, because those are what we call risk factors or contraindications. Okay, I think that's all I want to cover to give you a better understanding of what you are going to be receiving. And like I say, got questions, get in touch with me. I'll see you at your session. Look forward to it.